I'm dancing all these fears away. Don't need it. You just made me realize.
It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you know it. It is often replicated, but never duplicated. That is for sure. Anyways, this is the Rated R Safety Show. Today is Monday, June the 7th of 2022, day 158th of the year, and only 207 days to go before we see the thing that ends with the number 3. So let's go from there. So anyways, how are you? Did you have a fantastic last 23 hours? Because roughly that should have been the last time that we hung out. If you were here yesterday, if you weren't here yesterday, then who knows how long it's been since the last time we hung out. And that's okay. Those things happen. I get it. I get it. We're not attached at the hip, so I get it. So anyways, we are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida. So yeah, that's where we're coming from. We're coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that other place that we do stuff at.
Radio Big.
Oh yes, hanging out at Radio Big. So there you go. So let's see, where do we want to start off? Do we want to start off with how we have titled this thing, For the Quest of Peace? Yeah, we'll get into a little bit of that a little bit in just a smidgen. So just for reference purposes, because I think it's important to always talk about it, because I have not mentioned it yet, because we just started. How the hell am I going to mention something if I wasn't even on the air yet, huh? If you want to interact with the show, yes, and that's if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, callinradio.com. Callinradio.com. The easiest way to do this is, I'm telling you, to go to callinradio.com. That's the interaction piece. I get to see everything over here. The other side of the equation is visual. If you go to safetyfm.com and click on visual radio, everything's there. Everything's already laid out for you. Because here's the problema, my friends. If you hang out in the social worlds of this stuff, and I know it's kind of an asinine thing for me to ask you for this, I can't see anything if you do anything inside of there. So you have to go over to visual radio, call in. If you go into the call in radio aspect, then I can see everything. But outside of that, I really don't see it until the show's over. So that could be a good or a bad thing, depending on how you take a look-see there on what is going on. So keep that in mind as we are talking on this lovely day. So with that being said, let's start it off right away with what is going on inside of the world of the trends, because that is going to be a primary thing for us to talk about. So let's get into that right away. D-Day was trending on Monday on the 78th anniversary of the U.S. soldiers storming the beaches of Normandy in midst of World War II. Jimmy Kimmel was trending yesterday after news broke that the late-night host landed a sit-down with President Biden. Apple landed in Twitter's top 10s as users reacted to several new redesigns for iPhone Max and more. Was that yesterday? I must have totally missed that thing. And Mike Flanagan was trending following the release of a teaser trailer for the new Netflix show. So there you go. That's everything there to talk about. So, anyways, it's Tuesday, so you know how I am. I love to talk about the music oozic. So we had to talk about that real quick before we do anything else. So, according to Spotify, the top 5 songs in Spotify go like this: Bad Bunny and Bomba Estero, Ojitos Lindos. At number 4 was Jack Harlow with First Class. At number 3 was Lizzo with About Damn Time. At number 2 was Harry Styles with As It Was. And at number 1 was Post Malone and Doja Cat with I Like You. Well, that's good. I'm glad you like me. Okay, at number 5, according to iTunes, it goes into this fashion: Walker Hayes, AA. At number 4, Lizzo, About Damn Time. At number 3, Harry Styles, As It Was. At number 2, Lady Gaga, Hold My Hand. And at the number 1 spot, Kate Bush, Running Up That Hill, A Deal with God. So there you go. A Deal with God. A Deal with God. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of there. So if you're kind of new to the show, it goes something like this. We talk about safety and we talk about the news, and we talk about safety in the news, and then we kind of do a little mixture together of everything, give it back to you with a pretty little bow, and then you kind of tell us what the hell you thought, and then we go from there. So that's kind of the summation of everything that happens here. So with that being said, let's start off with bringing in some professional newscasters with whatever they have going on inside of this little world of ours, for us to talk about some newsy oozy, because I think that all this stuff is very important as we are talking. What do you think? Do you want some news right now, or would you rather wait? I mean, I don't know. So that's the giggy iggy. We can talk about all this stuff and go from there. So let's get into the world of the news right now. Well, on the Rated R Safety Show.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Russia's walked out of a UN Security Council meeting after the European Council chief accused Moscow of causing a global food crisis. Charles Michel said the Russian invasion's impact on food supplies was a stealth missile against the developing world. Russia's UN ambassador Vasily Nebenzia stormed out and accused Michel of spreading lies. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson's meeting his cabinet on Tuesday after surviving a confidence vote in his leadership. However, 148 of his own MPs voted against him, so his authority is considered damaged even after the victory. He's facing continued calls to quit from rebel MPs as he pledges to focus on governing. Cabinet Minister George Eustice says the party needs to unite.
I understand, the arguments that they've made and the reasons they've given for the position that they took. I very much disagree with them. I've taken a different position. I've supported the Prime Minister because I think on the big decisions, the big calls for our country, he's got it right.
International criticism against the Indian government's growing after officials of the ruling party allegedly made derogatory comments about the Prophet Muhammad. Gulf nations and some Asian countries, such as Indonesia, have voiced concerns. The Indian government's in damage control mode, as Ishan Garg reports from New Delhi.
The Indian government has distanced itself from the comments made by the Bharatiya Janata Party national spokesperson. Officials say India respects all religions. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's BJP has also suspended the officials. Indian diplomats abroad are engaging in a flurry of activity, assuring nations of the government's official stance on religious freedom. Gulf nations are crucial for India's energy needs, but there's criticism brewing domestically as well. Hundreds were arrested on Monday for protesting, and concerns are that the anger may not be quelled anytime soon. Ishan Garg, New Delhi.
The Japanese yen has tumbled to a fresh 20-year low against the US dollar on speculation the gap between the two countries' interest rates could widen further. Phoebe Amoroso reports from our Tokyo bureau.
The yen was trading at the 132 level against the dollar on Tuesday morning local time. That comes after the Bank of Japan said Monday that it would maintain its ultra-easy monetary policy, stressing that the economy needs to be supported as it continues its recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. By contrast, better-than-expected US jobs data for May, combined with soaring energy and food prices, is adding to expectations that the US Federal Reserve will raise rates aggressively to curb inflation. A weak yen has traditionally been seen as a plus for Japan's export-driven economy. but the country relies heavily on energy imports, and the weak currency, along with higher commodity prices, is proving a financial burden. In its annual energy report released Tuesday, the government said it would continue to move forward with the restart of nuclear power plants as part of its strategy to diversify its energy sources.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, looking today at the latest developments in the saga of whether Elon Musk is eventually going to own Twitter or not. It's beginning to look like he might not. On Monday, he threatened to pull his $44 billion offer for the company, saying that it is refusing to provide him with information he has requested about the number of accounts on the site that are either fake or controlled by computer bots. Twitter says only 5% of accounts fall into those categories, but Musk wants proof. FSN's technology commentator Will Guyot with more.
Well, trading experts have suggested that Musk is suffering from buyer's remorse and is now doing all he can to get a reduction in price. We've seen this takeover take many twists and turns, and there's still plenty of questions about Musk's intention to complete the deal. This letter he sent to Twitter yesterday was the first time in this process he's formally threatened to walk away. Until this point, the noise has been made in the media. So even if he does walk away from this, Elon Musk is contractually obligated to pay $1 billion to Twitter. Now, that's admittedly a fraction of his estimated $220 billion fortune, but all eyes are definitely on what's next in this story.
And there was a fresh development late on Monday. The Attorney General of Texas says he's investigating Twitter over fake accounts, saying the company is potentially misleading consumers in the state. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, Russia's walked out of a UN meeting after the European Council chief accused Moscow of causing a global food crisis. Boris Johnson's meeting his cabinet after surviving a confidence vote. International criticism against the Indian government's growing after officials from the ruling party allegedly made derogatory comments about the Prophet Muhammad, and the Japanese yen's tumbled to a fresh 20-year low against the US dollar on speculation over interest rates. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Do you have a claim and not sure where to turn? Coastal Claim Consultants are professionally licensed and bonded public insurance adjusters employed exclusively by you, the policyholder, to represent you after sustaining an insured loss. They assist policyholders in all aspects of processing the claim, working closely with the insured to provide the most equitable and timely settlement possible. They will provide you with comprehensive service, anything from inspecting the loss site, analyzing damages, compiling claim support data, reviewing applicable coverages, assessing replacement costs of damages, and negotiating your settlement. The adjusters at Coastal Claim Consultants will evaluate your claim for no upfront cost whatsoever. Coastal Claim Consultants' fee is based on contingency contracts and are paid when the insurance company sends you a check and it's in your possession. Coastal Claim Consultants are licensed to assist you in the following states: Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina. For more information, go to coastal-cc.com. That's coastal-cc.com for more information. Lighting the way to recovery. Coastal Claim Consultants.
We all want to make sure that our family is protected in medical emergencies. What many of us don't realize is that health insurance won't always cover the full amount of an emergency medical flight. Even with comprehensive coverage, you could get hit with high deductibles and copays. That's why an Air Medcare Network membership is so important. As a member, if an emergency arises, you won't see a bill for air medical transport when flown by an AMCN provider. Best of all, a membership covers your entire household for as little as $85 a year. AMCN providers are called upon to transport nearly 100,000 patients a year. This is coverage no family should go without. Now, as a Jay Allen Show listener, you'll get up to a $50 e-gift card with a new membership. Simply visit airmedcarenetwork.com/safety and use the offer code SAFETY. And don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you.
So, do you feel like you're missing out on what everyone is starting to do now? That live streaming thing, and you don't know where to start or what to do? I have the resource and the information to provide to you in regards on how you can stream onto 40 social media platforms all at one time. Yes, that's 40 social media platforms all at one time. All you'll need to do is go to safetyfm.com/one. That's safetyfm.com/one. That's ONE. So just in case, and you'll be able to start live streaming just like you're hearing people starting to do right now, up to 40 social media platforms.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show. Self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
Oh, self-imploding in airwaves. What a deal to talk about. So you just heard it a moment ago, but let's talk about it a little bit more. Elon Musk has sent a serious signal that he's getting ready to walk away from his proposed acquisition of Twitter. Musk's legal team filed a letter with the Securities and Exchange Commission accusing Twitter of stonewalling their efforts to get real data about how many users are real people and not bot accounts. Oh, bot accounts. Isn't that a joke to talk about? While the letter itself doesn't have any legal power, one industry analyst told the New York Post that he sees it all as a paper trail to protect Musk if he decides to, we'll call it a bowing out scenario. So there you go. So what do you think about it? I am. So what are you thinking about this whole deal? Will you see Musk take the lead on Twitter, or will it end up being one of those things where the bots will make him walk away? Oh, body. You know, it's kind of funny just in regards to the world of social media and how people put so much street cred on on likes, hashtags, and so on, and how that's so important. So your social media cred is what gets you anywhere. You know, I have to tell you, I have such a hard time with when people are like, oh, my credentials are how many users and how many followers I have on social medias. It's like, really? That's what's important. My podcast has reviews over X amount. It's like, dude, it's like, people, nobody cares. I go back to the same thing that we talked about last week. I almost said last year at this point. You know what else is really popular? The word trash. The word trash is popular. Everybody knows about it. Everybody knows exactly what that means. So it does not change anything.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Okay, so let's continue talking. Apple is adding a feature to its Messenger app that allows users to edit and even unsend some messages. The feature is also welcome, adding both for grammar snobs and people who filled with regrets for firing off abrasive messages that they wish that they could take back. Oh, I see how that's going to come into some work. The news came as part of Apple's World Developer Conference that was held on Monday, during which Apple also announced the iPhone users will soon have more customization options for their lock screen. The new features will be rolled out, well, this fall, unless you are a beta tester, and then that means that you will have it way sooner. Anyways, the FDA has issued a recall on Urban Remedy organic revitalization tea, tonic strawberry, hibiscus rose drinks. Wow, that's a mouthful. Over concerns the beverage could be contaminated. Are you ready with this? With hepatitis A. The bottler of the drink isn't necessarily responsible for the error. Instead, it was botched and is linked to a widespread strawberry recall that could be contaminated with the virus. The bottle is in question have a best buy date of July the 17th of 2022. I'm pretty sure that the name Best Buy does not want to be associated with this also at the same time, but it is something to think about. So a lot of stuff going on right there. Anyways, currently 19 minutes past the top of the hour, just in case if you were wondering what the hell is going on in regards to time frame, timeline, and time anything. So we have those things going on right now. Anyways, how long should happy hour be? Let's talk about that, because an hour sounds like it's 60 minutes, but how long should a happy hour be? Well, Adult Beverage Market Bevy commissioned a study to answer just that. And as Americans return to life after the pandemic, they are ready to get their drink on. As a result, it shows that 38% of respondents say that happy hour should be at least 3 hours. 3 hours. Nearly 70% said that they're actively looking to make up for lost social time caused by the pandemic, lockdown, and social distraction rules. Well, that's something that they're looking forward to doing. A little drinky-eeky, if they could do that, if it has the opportunity to do so. So what do you think? Do you think that happy hour should be 3 hours, or do you think it should be a happy 180 minutes? So let's just make sure that maybe that's it. It's the happy 180, because, you're trying to turn how your day has went, unless you're celebrating something good, and then that becomes a different story. There's so many different things to talk about in that particular regards if you start thinking about it. Anyway, so a little bit more information about what is going on inside of the world of the stocks world, inside of the world of the market. Let's bring in our favorite market analyst, Johnny Smalls, right now.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Tuesday, June 7th, 2022. Equity markets tried to claw their way higher Monday, but the gains did not hold. The S&P 500 closed the day up slightly, but well off the highs, and once again confirmed the presence of resistance near the 4,100 level. This resistance may cap the gains for the foreseeable future, given the amount of uncertainty in the market, and there is a downside risk as well. The PCE price index is due out Friday and may send the market into another tailspin. While headline inflation is expected to accelerate under the forces of high energy prices, core inflation is expected to moderate, but both are forecast to be very high on a year-over-year basis. The takeaway is that inflation is running more than double the Fed's target rate and has been for a year. At this pace, prices are rising at double-digit clip in a 2-year comparison and eroding consumer spending power every minute. The FOMC has promised to act, albeit late, and will raise interest rates by at least 50 basis points at their meeting next week. You can get the inside track at MarketBeatMinute.com.
Okay, thank you, Johnny Smalls, for that one and letting us know exactly what is going on inside of the world of the market. So let's see. Stocks were relatively flat on Monday. The Dow picked up about 16 points, and the S&P picked up about 12. The national average of gasoline has set another record. I know this is not stuff to be braggalicious about, but $4.87. Yeah, that's $4.87. In case you were wondering. So, not the best of times. So let's continue talking about some other things that are happening inside of this world. So take a listen to this. Billionaire liberal George Soros funded radio takeover. Liberal billionaire George Soros investment group is taking over the airways with a push to turn red radio blue. Natalie Rodriguez has more information.
A George Soros-backed group of predominantly Hispanic investors now owns 18 Spanish-language radio stations in 10 cities. The deal, $60 million, creating the liberal Latino Media Network. One of the stations included in the billionaire libs deal is Miami-based WAQI Radio Mambi that Democrats have long accused of spreading misinformation in the Hispanic community. The LMN is led by Obama administration official Stephanie Valencia and actress Eva Longoria. Natalie Rodriguez, Miami.
So there you go, some changes in South Florida radio, if you care to know about what is going on down there. So just for information purposes. Anyways, let's continue talking. 2 teens are charged for violent threat at a high school. Ventura County prosecutors are pressing charges against 2 teens accused of making violent threats at a high school. Daniel Martindale has more information.
The first student facing charges is a 17-year-old boy who goes to Oxnard High School. Police say last Wednesday he showed his ex-girlfriend a gun in the school library and told her he'd use it on her new boyfriend. It turned out to be a pellet gun, but the school went on lockdown for a while. The next day, a 16-year-old boy claimed to have a bomb on the campus of Santa Paula High School. No bomb was ever found, but the school School and 3 others in the district went on lockdown while police made sure of it. Both students are in juvenile hall and will be arraigned today, where we'll find out what they've been charged with. I'm Daniel Martindale.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, for that one. Not sure what to say after a story like that. Let's continue talking a little bit more here. Polls are open in New Jersey for primary day. So let's have Jennifer come in and give us some more.
Voters will be deciding on a dozen midterm congressional races, along with some 100 contested county and municipal races. Sons of well-known New Jersey leaders are running, including Senator Bob Menendez's son Rob, for a seat opened up by retiring Democratic Representative Albio Sires. Former Republican Governor Tom Kaine's son Tom Kaine Jr. taking on rivals hoping for a rematch with Democratic Congressman Tom Malinowski. Jennifer Pulsoni, NBC News Radio.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer Pulsoni, for that one. Anyways, cars flooded in a large water main break in Long Island City, Queens. Numerous cars are flooded following, a large water break in Long Island City. Scott Pringle has more information.
A water main burst around 2 o'clock in the morning, sending water gushing onto Vernon Boulevard by 41st Road. And this water at one point was going up to the windows on numerous vehicles. Ronald says this has happened before.
In January 28th, 2021, and it's the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? There's 25 cars down this whole strip.
There was also some flooding inside a nearby public housing apartment building. Scott Pringle, NBC News Radio, New York.
Okay, so there you go. Information on what is going on inside of there. So that is some interesting stuff in regards to how the hell did that happen. It really should fall under that particular category. Anyways, an Oxford resident accused of multiple sexual assaults will soon be back in trial following a mistrial in February. Danielle Martindale has some more info.
About 4 months ago, COVID-related issues caused a mistrial for 40-year-old Rodolfo Franco. He's accused of sexually assaulting 3 separate victims in 3 separate incidents in Oxnard and Ventura in 2003 and in 2020. Jury selection starts today. Franco remains behind bars without bail. I'm Daniel Martindale.
Okay, there you go. So, wow, some interesting stuff going on inside of our lovely world at this particular moment. Take a listen to this one. Some residents in the town of Hera, Oklahoma, had quite a surprise in their recent water bill. There were some extra zeros added to late fees for residents who should have had a fee of $90. The bill claimed that they owed $90 million instead.
Some people were having to come here to pay their bill because they weren't able to do it online then because they didn't have necessarily $90 million in their checking account. And so, but we're following up with them every day until we get it done.
Okay, so imagine that. Harris City Manager Lewis Moore says that it was a computer glitch in the town's billing system, although they're not sure how it happened. He says they also didn't know about the problem until residents started showing up voicing concerns. Harris City Manager Lewis Moore was talking in stride and joking if someone paid the late fee on their bill, the city would be in good shape.
A lot of people got the additional bill. So all we need is one person to pay that to more than meet the budget.
Yeah, you know that people were freaking out in that particular regards, telling them all of a sudden that they had a $90 million late fee. Like, what the hell? You know, some minor panic attacks were probably occurring during that time once they received that information. Anyways, let's go into some other news as it is 28 minutes past the top of the hour. Chicago offers to pay for security devices. Chicago is offering to pay for security devices to protect homeowners, renters, and business owners in the city. Mayor Lightfoot announced the launch of the Home and Business Protection Program.
This program represents a $5.4 million investment over the next 2 years and is open to all Chicago residents, businesses, religious institutions, and nonprofit organizations, and renters.
So anyone who lives in Chicago, operates a business in the city, or owns or leases a vehicle registered to the primary address within the city limits will be able to receive reimbursement from the city to cover costs of private security devices to protect their property. What do you think about that one? Do you think that it's something that will be worthwhile? Do you think something that will work out in the long run? It is definitely something to consider if you're in the Chicago area, because let's see, a little bit of security for, minimal or nominal fees or even almost potentially absolutely nothing, well, that sounds like a good deal to me. Anyways, gas prices hit over $5 in New Jersey. Gas prices continue to rise in the tri-state area, and now the average of $5 a gallon for regular in New Jersey. Take a listen.
AAA says prices at the pump have reached on average $4.94 in New York State and $4.92 in Connecticut, but it's New Jersey that's now hit the $5 a gallon mark, a record high. However, the price is not stopping these folks from traveling.
A wedding in Aruba. We have a week in Hilton Head, South Carolina.
I have a cabin upstate with my father. He's 89, so I can't deny him that.
Traditionally, gas prices rise in the summer, so fuel costs may not be done going up. Scott Pringle, NBC News Radio, New Jersey.
I'm pretty sure that's not the news that people want to hear out there about, gas prices potentially going up, especially knowing that it normally does go up in the summer based on demand that occurs because people are traveling mostly in the summer. So there you go. Anyways, a public hearing of the January 6th committee starting Thursday night. The House committee investigation of last year's attack of the Capitol begins a series of public hearings on Thursday night. Mark Mayfield has more information.
Several hearings will be scattered throughout June in prime time and during daytime hours. The committee has pledged to disclose previously unseen material, calling the Capitol assault one of the darkest days in American history. The panel cannot initiate prosecutions, but it can pass recommendations on to the Justice Department. Thursday night's hearing starts at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm Mark Mayfield.
So we'll see what all that airs on, because that's going to be an interesting one. Anyways, take a listen to this. Testimony delayed in Trump probe. Testimony for Fulton County, Georgia's probe into former President Trump are being delayed. Trey Thomas has more information.
Several current and former staffers of Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger were expected to appear before a grand jury this week, but the district attorney's office told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that it's being put off until later. Raffensperger appeared in court last week to go over details from a phone call Trump made to him in early 2021. Recordings from the call revealed Trump wanted the Republican to find him more votes in Georgia. I'm Trey Thomas.
Okay, so there you go. Some information. It'll be interesting to see what happens next as the saga continues.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so there you go. 32 after. So let's do this thing that we call our main story. Let's do this thing that we need to talk about during this time. So I guess before I get too far, before I get too into it today, we should probably talk real quick about what's going to happen today on the Jay Allen Show. We are going to talk about things about how to get motivated in doing what you're doing. So if you do get a chancey-ancy, I would say go out there and take a listen to it. That could be found on your favorite podcast catcher, and that will start today rolling out at noon Eastern time, just in case you were wondering. Anyways, with that being said, you probably did notice the titling on this episode today, The Quest for Peace. Oh, yes, that is what it was titled. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we do day in and day out for work. We do something where we are attempting to make sure that everybody makes it home safe. For the most part, we also attempt to make sure that people make it home better than what they actually got to our place of business at. At least that's the norm. But with that being said, also, we never want to cause too much controversy. We don't want to cause too many issues inside of where we work at. So it is, to an extent, a quest for peace. It is, to an extent, the way that we interact with people in our operations department, inside of our merchandising department, inside of the different departments inside of the organization that will help guide. Now, listen, I am not saying do not stand up for what you think is for the best interest of the organization and the people that work in it in regards of making sure that they are safe and making sure that they are not, injured or dismembered and all that kind of fun stuff. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is to make sure that we are doing stuff that we understand that it can be, you can have peaceful resolutions for things that you're looking for. You can have peaceful resolutions in regards on how you interact and work for other people and work with other people. Here's what happens most of the time. We don't find the sword to die on because we think that we should go to every battle worth dying for. And there's plenty of questions to think about when it comes to that. I am not saying to give in or give up to the upper echelon of things in the world, because that's what some people might think that I'm saying. But that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that there is ways to do this in a peaceful manner. There is a way to be able to interact with other people to make sure that you are able, yes, and I did say able, to have interactions that are helpful, to have interactions that things can change inside of that particular world. Here's the gig. At the end of the day, when it is all said and done, businesses are there mostly to make money. Let's just be realistic. They also don't want to lose money. And if you work for a good place, they are doing things for the greater good of the people and their people that invest into it. So here's the gig. Remember, when it's said and done, you have to be able to still have conversations with the people that you interact with, even if you don't agree with their quote-unquote agenda. Even if you don't agree with everything that they're doing. So here's the thing. If you go into war with them, how is that going to look in the long run for you? How are you going to be able to do things later on and have those great conversations to move the path forward inside of your organization? These are the things to think about. Now, listen, there are times that things don't go perfect. You know this and I know this. So with that being said, how do you go about making sure that things are done in the correct way? How do you go about making sure that things are done correctly? Well, the next time that you go down this path, keep in mind the quest for peace. You want to do what is good for your team members. You want to make sure that you're also able to have conversations with the people that are quote-unquote higher ups later on when it's all said and done. Don't give them a whole bunch of jargon. That's not going to change anything. Talk about the reality of things and make sure that you keep the quest of peace in mind. Boy, is that a lot to think about today. But then again, what the hell do I know? I'm just a guy behind a microphone.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Well, you might be like me and heard all these terms and were not 100% sure on what they meant. Things as mining, blockchain, the Internet of Things. Well, I will tell you, we here at Safety FM have partnered up with a company that will explain this to you and will also have conversations to inform you on how you might have the potential of making passive income by being involved with this. All you need to do is go to safetyfm.com/iHub. They'll discuss blockchain. What exactly is mining? What is cryptocurrency? And what is the Internet of Things? To find out more information, go to safetyfm.com/iHub. That's safetyfm.com/iHub. And don't forget to mention that Jay Allen sent you.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
So, do you feel like you're missing out on what everyone is starting to do now? That live streaming thing, and you don't know where to start or what to do? I have the resource and the information to provide to you in regards on how you can stream onto 40 social media platforms all at one time. Yes, that's 40 social media platforms all at one time. All you'll need to do is go to safetyfm.com/1. That's safetyfm.com/1. That's ONE. So just in case, and you'll be able to start live streaming just like you're hearing people starting to do right now, up to 40 social media platforms. Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast network. You can come out, hang out, and listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation, Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, The Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what can be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you.
All the things I used to sacrifice just to please you, just to call you mine. But look at me now, I have the time of my life. I'll call your friends, I'll let them know that I'm so done with the tragic boys. Tonight I'll get into my zone. I'll dance until the tears are gone. No time for bad love, bad love, bad love.
Oh, there you go. 41 minutes past the top of the hour.
No time for bad love, bad love.
Oh, yeah, some bad love. Give me some of that. Yeah, this song's readily available on iTunes and Spotify. This is Wake Up featuring Emmy. So if you want to take a little gander at it, you're more than welcome to do that. Thanks to YCAP and Emmy for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. Yeah, we're dancing all these tears away. Okay, so there you go. Let's get back into some things going on inside of this worldo mundo of ours, because that's all important as we are talking. Anyways, let me tell you real quick about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Whether you have struggled with suicide yourself or have lost a loved one, know that you're not alone. Hear about personal experiences from people in your local communities whose lives have been impacted by suicide and depression. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to afsp.org. That is afsp.org. Or call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. Or text the word TALK to 741-741. Hey, listen, if you're going through a rough time and you're about to make a move, and you just make sure that you don't do that move. Don't do that next move until you have called 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255, or texting the word TALK to 741-741. Listen, I know that life is not perfect. And sometimes you can go through some rough patches. That is for sure. So, if you are contemplating suicide, or if you're going through some rough times, call 1-800-273-8255. They're there to help. That's all I can say. Seriously. The more knowledge we have about this, the more and more we're able to have conversations about it, opposed to it being the stigma conversation of, oh, we can't talk about that. No, people do go through mental struggles. People do struggle. There are times that life seems very difficult, but there are people to talk to, and things that you can do to make things better. So let's keep that in mind. Okay, with that being said, let me take a look-see around here. I almost screwed that up and gave you a Friday clip on a Tuesday. Who does a Friday clip on a Tuesday? I guess this guy does, because that's almost what I just did here. So I normally don't do this till Friday, so that's why I just virtually screwed up here. But I want to give you one of those motivational moments, by a 1-minute devotion. So take a listen.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. Pornography is a multi-billion-dollar business, and it's readily available on the internet, easily accessed by our smartphones and on our computers. Once you open that door, it's nearly impossible to get it closed again. Make no mistake, lust is deadly. Maybe this is what Jesus had in mind when he said, if your right eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. Job said, I made a covenant with mine eyes not to look lustfully at a young woman. Lord, help us guard our eyes lest we open the door to the enemy. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, 46 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging and banging on this lovely Tuesday. Yeah, lovely Tuesday right there as we are talking. Anyways, let's continue to talk here. I don't know how to say it, but let's just talk about it because this is important. National average gas price closing in on $5 a gallon. Yes, every day marks a new record for gas prices. The national average is closing in on the $5 a gallon mark. It's causing some drivers to limit how much gas they put into their tank.
I just put 5 in just to get there and back.
The national average price for regular rose another nickel today, the $4.91 a gallon. The statewide average is now $5 a gallon or higher in 13 states, including California, where drivers are paying, are you ready for this? $6.37. Gas is up to $4.33 a gallon in Georgia, but that's still the lowest price in the country. $4.33 is the lowest price in the country. Yeah, I didn't stutter utter when I said that. I just wanted to make sure that we were clear. So let's talk, because a lot of stuff is going on, and we have very little bit of time left as we're talking. So here you go, longish weekend. What is the key of feeling happier at work? Well, summer Fridays would do the trick, according to a new poll. What is a summer Friday? Well, that's when workers are allowed to a short day or an off day occasional Fridays during the season. 59% of a 2,000 working adults surveyed said that their jobs offer summer Fridays, and over an 8 in 10 agreed that it makes you feel much happier at the work. Duh. The survey commissioned by Wisetail drilled into the deep impact of whether one has a job work effectiveness, with a 73% saying that they believe that it directly affects their productivity. Cool temps and clear blue skies were associated with being most productive at work, and heavy rain and freezing temperatures were seen as the root cause of unproductive work days. Time is also a factor. In order to have the best day at work, the average person needs to wake up by 7:30 a.m., while rising at 8:30 a.m. is considered the worst way to start off a workday. Summer Fridays will also, for those informally at least, whether the boss takes off early on Friday or not, because that's what people do. And also, why not just like anything else gets done afternoon and a beautiful Friday anyway? So I mean, what the hell happened? I will tell you. Regardless of summer Fridays, because I live in Florida, so it doesn't really change anything for me. I don't normally take meetings on Fridays because of that, on purpose. And what drives me crazy the most is I normally will let you have access to my calendar. And why is it that people want to book the last time slot that you have on a Friday? I mean, come on. What is the portion? What is it? So we have narrowed it down to Friday is not a good day to do stuff, period. Anyways, with that being said, I think I probably need to give you some motivation because it is time to do so. So let's do that by bringing in some John Smalls.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by Shannon. Bruce Barton said, "When you are through changing, you are through." Very nicely said. Change is really the only constant thing. If you get too comfortable, you quit growing. I've done that myself. I exceeded my goals and I got very comfortable where I was. Then I quit growing. Eventually, I realized that. Then I got out of my own way and I set a plan to continue growing once again. Never quit learning and always be open to the right changes. Change can be good, but make sure you focus on the right kind of change. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Your Wellness Minute is brought to you by AlessaMorgan.com. Our liver not only plays a huge part in detox, but also in metabolism, how we burn fat, and how we get in shape. A couple of things that make the damaging impact on liver is too much self-medication with over-the-counter drugs, especially acetaminophen such as Tylenol, and of course alcohol. In order to fight toxic residue produced by these substances, the liver has to create glutathione, and there is only so much glutathione that liver can create before it's unable to fight toxicity. The other damaging factor is lack of sleep. Liver cells get regenerated during sleep, which is crucial for overall health. If you're looking to give your liver a boost, curcumin and turmeric supplements create a powerful antioxidant effect that gives liver a break from fighting toxic substances, help to regenerate liver cells, and increase glutathione. For additional resources, check out AlessaMorgan.com.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Some information for you right there as that is going around and about in all of the funner stuff that we get to talk about as we are talking here on this lovely Tuesday. Anyways, let's continue talking about the world of the news because this is important. After a week's plea from President Biden to do something to stop gun violence, Democrat Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia is weighing in.
We know the two things that would have stopped this one, if the age was at 21 and also if there was red flag laws that really made a difference.
Okay, he's also in favor of background checks, which Manchin has supported since 2013. So there you go, some information on what is going on inside of there. What else is going on inside of the world here? I mean, we got so much stuff and so little time to talk about it, so I don't know where to go. Should we talk about this one? Let's talk about this one real quick. American and South Korean warplane staged in a joint air power demonstration during Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman visit Seoul today. Trey Thomas has more information.
Sherman said the demonstration showed there would be a strong and clear response if North Korea were to conduct a nuclear test. The showcase of 20 fighter jets came one day after South Korea and the U.S. fired 8 surface-to-surface missiles in response to North Korea's launch of short-range missiles on Sunday. I'm Trey Thomas.
Okay, so there you go. Some information going on there. Let's talk about something else real quick. Pfizer expanding for antiviral COVID-19 pill. Pfizer is expanding the production facility in Michigan to increase production of the COVID-19 antiviral pill called Paxlovid. Let's see, Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer was among those who spoke yesterday.
Today represents a breakthrough that will change patients' lives. Their efforts here are nothing short of miraculous, the miracle of science.
Okay, so let's see. Pfizer says that Paxlovid reduces the hospitalization and death of high-risk patients by nearly 90%. It's taken within 5 days of symptoms. The $120 million expansion will create more than 250 high-skilled jobs. Pfizer Chief Global Supply Officer Mike McDermott also announced the expansion that is going on.
We're absolutely thrilled to announce an additional $120 million investment here at this site, additional 250 highly talented colleagues to be able to help us with that fight to bring Paxlovid all over the U.S. and its territories and all over the world.
Okay, so there you go, the announcement of Paxlovid to go your general direction if you're so inclined to take it. So there you go. Anyways, currently 54 minutes past the top of the hour, so let's continue talking and expanding our brain for just 1 second here in regards of what we have going on, because that is what we do around here. No winner for Friday night's Mega Million drawing. Tonight's drawing will be for a $207 million jackpot or $119.3 million cash payout. So there you go, some information for you right there. Anyways, if we're looking back at things that happened back on this date, let's take a look-see about what is going on. Back in 2020, the COVID-19 global death toll passes 400,000, with confirmed cases nearing 7 million, according to Johns Hopkins. That was back in 2020. We want to take a look around at some birthdays that are going around. Let's talk about some of those. Let's take a look-see here. Fetty Wap turns 31. Iggy Azalea 32. Michael Cera turns 34. Bill Harder turns 44. Allen Iverson 47. Dave Navarro 55. Mick Foley 57. Mike Pence 63. Liam Nielsen turns 77. Matter of fact, I just added 7 years to his age. He turned 70 today. And Tom Jones turns 82. So there you go. Those are some birthdays that are going on today. If you are looking for some reasons for celebration, if you're looking for some reasons to celebrate today, well, I have some of those for you today. It's National Chocolate Ice Cream Day, which I think is a great day to celebrate, and National VCR Day, because if you do celebrate that you have a VCR, well, that's something special within itself. All alone. Anyway, so let's talk about this real quick. You might need some whack facts in your life, so I'm going to give you some. The Hubble Space Telescope is powerful enough to see a match being struck in Pluto. Paris has about 40,000 restaurants. New York has about 26,000. In Tokyo, well, they have 160,000. About half the calories in the average fast food meals come from fat. Kangaroos keep growing until they die. Jellyfish are considered biological anomalies. They don't age and they don't die unless they are killed. Let's see. Because of swearing is not permitted among Wimbledon competitors, line judges are required to learn curse words in every language. I think that sounds like a good gig. So there you go. Anyways, here you go. If you need a random joke for today, people say that having kids is the best thing in the world, but you only ever hear that from the victims. If you need a phone starter from today, try this one. What is the weirdest or most unexpected thing a guest has done at your house? Oh boy, that's a long conversation. If you need something for the water cooler, try this one. Question. Fully 1 in 4 people say this is their favorite smell. What is it? A campfire. So there you go. So let's talk real quick. We're getting to the end of this thing today, and I need to tell you some things. We talked about the quest for peace today. Well, that's what I'm going to be doing over the next little bit, so I'm going to tell you this real quick. I am starting after the show today and the show on RadioBig.fm. I will be going for the quest of peace. So I will be gone now until the 20th of this month. Yes, you did hear me correctly there. So there will not be anybody live inside of this studio to the 20th. It doesn't mean that we might not do a replay or two. I don't know yet. I haven't made up my mind. But I will not be here. So understand that. I will be gone. So this gives you time to go for the quest of peace, as I will be doing as well. So I wanted to share that with you, as I will be gone and will not be live in the studio again until the 20th, just to be on the safe side. So thanks for everything that you do for our little community here of safety practitioners and people that take a listen to this thing, because we definitely cannot do what we do around here without you, the most important part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener. So if I can leave you with a deep thought, I would love to leave you with this one. Don't let the world change your smile. Use your smile to change the world. That one is the one that I want to leave you with, because we're going to have some time apart. Anyways, thank you for always being here with us. I really do appreciate it. By the way, I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye. And I will see you in the very, 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 very near future. And I might have something special to announce when I come back Let's just think about the month of October. You might be surprised.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
I'm dancing all these tears away. No time for bad love, bad love, bad love. I'm dancing all these fears away.